So this one is 437. It's a good idea to check your batteries. Lithium batteries are not the same as AA alkaline batteries. Lithium batteries, the optimal voltage is to charge them from 3.6 volts up to 4.2 volts. Don't charge them much beyond 4.2 volts. You do get a dedicated battery charger for the cell. Yeah, just look after the batteries. If you discharge these batteries below 3 volts a cell, it kind of hurts the chemistry of the batteries, so that's not fantastic. This is a temporary website until the Parabotics website comes online. So if you look at this Robot Science website, I've revamped it a little bit. You'll see here there's Robotics 101. Now, Robotics 101 is going to be on Wednesdays, and then there's Inventor 101. It's going to be on Thursdays, and these sessions, so that some learners can also attend. So these sessions are in fact going to take place from 4 to 4:30. That's 30 minutes. We'll probably run over a little bit. So if you find this website and you click on these, so if you click here, you'll see now over here, I'm just going to drop this. This is where the resources are. So you'll see this video over here that you're looking at right now. That's a recording of last week's session. Now, if I click on this for course notes and training resources, you'll see if you come down here, that was session 1, which is last week. And if you click here, you'll see that there's 2 videos associated with last week. There's how to pick a really nice soldering iron that's only 250 odd rand, so it's really good value. And then if you click here, you will see these are these textbooks that I've been writing. You'll see the pages are over here available. So Robot Science, Robotics 101, Session 1, Soldering, Workshop 3.4 to LED Flasher PDF. So here it is. This is just a bit of an information sheet. So that's what I wanted to show you so you know where it is. So as I said, you don't have to remember this long string here. All you really need to do, I'll show you again, you just go to the website, Robot Science, which gets you to this page. You scroll down, you click on this, it takes you through to this page, and there's the video embedded. You can also watch the video on YouTube. And then if you click on this, it'll take you to the course notes. You scroll down here, there's the course notes. Here's the SAAF Eagles Parabotics Handbook. You're welcome to take a look at that. If you click on that, it'll download that into your downloads folder. Yeah, I can see you on. Let me just put my camera on so I can say hello. And there we go. How's it, bro?
I'm Michael.
This is a little video. It looks a bit jerky when I look at it on the receiving computer here because I've got a sending and a receiving computer. But what you'll see there is you've got a white board and you've got black lines on the board. This robot is set up with line following sensors, and it follows the line, and it even goes up the dead ends, and it goes from the beginning to the end of the maze. So let's have a look at that.
The robot needs to be able to go from the beginning of the maze to the end of the maze. It also needs to create an optimized path. So effectively the robot would run through the maze twice. The first run is a learning run. The second run is demonstrating a optimized solution. So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the robot perform a learning run. What you will notice is the robot always turns left first. If it can't turn left, it drives straight. If it can't drive straight, it turns right. That is called the left hand on the maze wall algorithm.
So let's go to share screen and let's find that one. There it is, and share it. Okay. Now, right. So this is workshop 18.2, a maze solving robotics algorithm. So this discusses that maze, and you need to familiarize yourself with some of the language and terminology here. This is the left hand on the maze wall algorithm described. if you go to Google and you do a Google search, so you put into that Google search field, YouTube and Professor Robert Solis CS225, solving algorithms, left-hand maze algorithm. I would strongly urge you to watch that video. It explains how the left hand on the maze wall algorithm works. This is a circuit board set. It costs about 250 rands, and you can acquire this circuit in order to build this robot here. If you're on the Robotics 101 WhatsApp group, you'll get notifications. I think I'm going to have to schedule some special meetings, extra meetings, because normally I only do Wednesday, Thursday, but because I'm in isolation, I'm not sick, by the way, so thanks for your concern, but I'm going to schedule some extra sessions next week because I have got a bit of time on my hands, and then I'm going to talk about hardware. For example, there are certain things you're going to need to get. You can't do robotics. Robotics is not a theoretical thing. It's not like studying accounting where you just need a calculator and a piece of paper and a textbook. You really do have to have equipment. So you need a computer. Obviously, you've got some device you're watching this show on. So basically, you're going to need to acquire some stuff. So I'm going to do a session and I'll schedule it on Zoom where I talk about where you can get this, what it costs, you can get a 5% discount, etc. And then what you'll notice is this is an Arduino Uno. Now this is really the best way for, especially for novices, to learn about robotics. This thing is very easy to program. It's wonderful. They're quite affordable. But you'll notice with this one, it doesn't have pins out the bottom. So this is a typical Arduino Uno. You're going to need clippers like this. If you don't have electronic clippers like this, you can't really hope to be doing electronics. So I'm just going to do like that. It's in the anti-static bag. And I'm just going to show you this Uno. So now this Uno is a very special one in that you'll see it's got long pins out the bottom. This is the one you need to buy. So I would urge you all to be cautious when you buy stuff. Don't just rush out and buy stuff. Make sure you're buying the correct stuff. Because if you buy this Uno, it's great. You can do little projects with it. You can flash LEDs. You can do stuff with this. But it doesn't have the pins out the bottom. What that means is this one with the pins out the bottom, you can actually plug, like here's the robot, okay? And you can plug this one with the pins out the bottom. Hold on, there's a bit of wire over here. So I'm just going to pull those wires out. Okay, now you can actually plug, and I'm just trying to get in front of the camera. I'm going to remember where the camera is. So what you'll notice is you can, the way this robot was built is you've actually got a built-in Uno over here, over there. There's actually an Uno there already. But what we can do is we actually don't have to put these components onto this board. We can leave that blank over there, leave this capacitor off there, and then we can simply plug the, this thing on top over here. But the whole idea of this robot is it's called the Arduino Uno Primo or the Top Deck. Now the Top Deck version is where you put a minimum of parts. So what I'm going to do, I'm just breaking this apart because these are the other bits that make up the chassis of the robot. And then over here, so this is actually like a motherboard. So any of you who are familiar with computers, you've got a motherboard and then you put the processor on the top. But in order to be able to put the processor on the top of this, you need to solder header pins onto this. So I think next week I'm going to do some extra sessions and basically show you all how to do that. That's a wonderful lesson in how to solder. So if you're welcome to email me, michael.edishank@paramountgroup.com. If you want to get one of these, you also need some parts, not a lot of parts, but you need certain parts here to complete the robot. Okay, so I see we've got Manny Martino on board, a very prominent South African entrepreneur, so welcome, and electronics expert, former, well, still owner involved with Mantic Electronics. And so
I just want to say, hi Manny, hope you're doing well and you're keeping safe.
Yeah, cool. So
yes, thank you very much for the welcome, and yes, I am well, thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't join earlier, I was busy with something else. Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you on board, Manny.
Thanks.
Okay, so if any of you are on this call, you want to be included, hopefully you're already on Robotics 101. That's my WhatsApp group that administers the invitations to these sessions. What we've been talking about is the fact that you can build out this robot. That's what this series is going to be all about. Today, I really went quite deep into the training, so I'm just going to basically go to a shared screen, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to share this. And so now there, okay, so I see it's up on the screen. So what's happening here, these are like notes. Now what you'll see is this is workshop 18.2. We are certainly not on workshop 18.2 today. There's a whole lot of learning that needs to happen before you get anywhere near this workshop 18.2, because to write the code that's required for a machine learning robot is quite a business. It's pretty advanced. So what we're looking at the moment, this is a website where you can find resources, and the resources are available. So you'll see basically the website is robotscience.co.za. You click there, scroll down here, and you click on course notes, teaching resources, scroll down here, and there you'll see, there it is. So so this is session 2 of this series, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some notes up here so you can read further, and then next week's sessions, before each session, I'll have this material available so you can actually prepare yourself. The other thing is, if you're out there and you've got a particular question, probably these meetings are going to be a little bit busy and crazy and fast, so rather email me. So I don't know if you've got my email address, michael.ettershank@paramountgroup.com. Just email me your questions in advance of the session. I am in isolation for a couple of weeks, so I've got a little bit of extra time on my hands that I normally don't have. So if there's a particular question you need to ask me, then you would be welcome to, in fact, do that, where you can write me an email. And I'm just going to put on this group chat. You'll learn way more if you actually build a robot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a parts list for this robot with the part numbers and description of the parts. Mantic has really been very supportive over the years. They've helped me in incredible ways and always kept stock of anything, any weird thing, no matter how obscure the part is. They've always brought those parts into stock and supported my programs, both when I was at University of Johannesburg and now with this program. One of the things I was going to talk about as part of this program was, let's just go here, is really safety. So as far as I'm concerned, you'll see that I've always got these reading glasses on. This is to protect my eyes for stuff going in my eyes. You can wear those big safety goggles. I recommend it, because if you use these clippers and little bits of electronic stuff fly into your eyes, I don't want to be to blame for those types of miseries. You'll see my hands, I'm wearing these gloves. That's to protect my fingers a little bit. Obviously, I've clipped the fingers off here because you lose a lot of your sensory control. The YouTube address, because we're probably going to get booted out of this meeting any moment now, is basically youtube.com/electronics Africa. So youtube.com/electronics Africa. That takes you to one of my YouTube channels, which is basically where all of these videos are going to be stored. So I'm just clicking over here. I used to have like 600 videos in this YouTube channel, and I sort of booted them out and cleaned this channel out. So what I did, you'll see here, I copied my other old videos over to Robot Science, and now I'm just going to have this series of videos in here. So here's a little video, learn to solder a 2-transistor flasher circuit, which I hope to demonstrate soon. This is all about soldering, and then this is a video about a really good little soldering iron you can buy from Mantic for 250 bucks, which is not a lot of money. My own personal soldering iron is like a couple of thousand rand. And, you know, if you're having a career in electronics, you need a 2,000 rand soldering iron. But if you're a scholar and your parents are not particularly wealthy, or if you're a university student, watch this video, because this is a kick, whatever soldering iron. It's really, really good.